We're on the Kennet and Avon Canal today. I'm here with Ben Humber and we've got a bit of a challenge on our hands today. We're going to be doing some lure fishing. One of us is going to be fishing with Dropshot and the other one with small jigs. What do you reckon about the conditions today, Ben?
Perfect. It was very, very mild last night. It's overcast all day. They've not even forecast any sun. So for lure fishing, it should be absolutely bang on.
And which presentation would you favour today?
We haven't had a winter this year, so it has to be something fast, something moving. So it's got to be jig.
Well, I think we're in complete agreement with that one. My preference today would certainly be jig, but to be totally fair, we've got one of each. Going to wiggle them about between my hands here. And Ben's going to make a call. Oh, he's got the drop shot. Well, that leaves me with a jig, which is something I'm more than happy about. Should we make a start, mate?
Yeah, can't wait.
Let's do it.
Alright, you ready for this? I'm going to be...
ready, mate. Well, look, as soon as you got the drop shot, I think you got the bum end of the deal.
I think I did.
That looks like an area that might be worth
Hey,
a go. So
I wish you luck.
No worries. See you in a bit. Good luck, my friend. Well, I can't pretend that I'm not absolutely over the moon to have drawn the jig today. It's mild conditions, absolutely perfect. The water's quite clear today, so I'm going to start on quite a natural pattern. I've gone for a little micro fry in hot olive on a 3-gram jig head, which should be an absolutely perfect start. So I'm going to slide this one on. They're really easy to hook up. Just want it to sit nice and straight on the hook. There we go, got it right first time. I'm confident it shouldn't take too long to get something on that one. Get it out there. And then I'm just letting it drop to the bottom and then just little lifts and drops as we come back through, and I'm sure that should get me off to a good early start. Although saying that, looks like young Ben might have one in the net already.
So Matt's only just joined me, and that was because we really did think that it was going to be a jig day today. But I've just worked a little tiddler fast just on the edge of this current, and I've just managed to nick a pike. And with this method, the drop shot, when you're working it so slow, they don't tend to engulf a lure like they would with the jig. They tend to nick in the outside of the mouth. So hopefully, it's always a bit precarious getting them in there. You do have to keep them below the water, but there we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hopefully, it's now 1-0 at the moment to me. But I'm sure Julian's going to be catching up quite quickly. Let's put this one back. Okay, so I'm 1-0 to Humber versus Chidgey. However, I don't think it'll be long, because I do truly believe that today they're going to want it fast, they're going to want it quick, and they're going to be willing to chase. However, if I can locate some perch, maybe in one of these features, then I've still got a good chance. So it's not over yet, and I'm going to keep going.
There we go. Well, that's interesting. I was sure there'd be 1 or 2 in this swim. There's a few little features going on in here, but I couldn't get a bite. So what I've done, just scaled down a little bit, and I've had a fish, first chuck. There we go, lovely little perch. Cracking little fish. That's the first bite of the day. Always nice to get the first fish of the day nice and early. And you can see what I've done there. I've gone down to a 1-gram jig head. I've taken one of our little tiddler fast, which is a great lure in its own right, and in this case I've cut it down to half the size. In cold conditions or on the days where they're just coming up behind and nipping at the tail, that can be a really good little tip. So I'm going to sneak this one back. Perch are obviously a shoal fish. I don't want Ben knowing that I'm catching a few, so I'm going to pop this one straight back and have a few more casts before he gets wind of the fact there might be a few in this area. Just saying, now all tiny little changes can make all the difference to your results. I've just underarmed that back to the same spot, and would you believe it, another lovely little perch. That's 2 in 2 chucks. So a really good little lesson to learn from that is the fact that if you are catching with lures, it's no different from anything else. If you're getting a bite in one spot, get it back out there, because there's usually a few more there. So lovely little fish. Just pop that one back. And there's what's doing the business. A tiny little 1-gram head. I'm only fishing the marginal shelf here. It's probably 2.5, 3 foot deep. So 1 gram is more than enough with just the tail section of that tiddler fast.
Whoa. Not a perch. It's in fact another pike. And I think it's hooked in the scissors. We're going to be able to get this one in fine, no problem. Like I said, I was working that so slow, and that was underneath my own feet there. And it literally has lost the lure, lost the weight, which doesn't matter because I've got it in the net. So that's 2 pike now. And I actually changed from the micro fry and I put the tiddler fast on then in a natural pattern, because as we've been looking around we've seen lots of small fry moving. So I've just literally gone to the opposite to Julian, who's moving it quite fast from what I can see, and I've gone ultra slow, and I've just been working around the edges around here, and obviously that's taken me another pike as well, so that's really good. Let's put it over here. This grass is super soft, so we're okay, although we always have the mat there just in case, because sometimes there are only stone banks. So I wouldn't ever risk it when it's that close to unhooking a pike with your fingers. It's never worth the risk. It can ruin a day's fishing if you actually do get caught by a pike. They've got incredibly sharp teeth, and it only just takes a few seconds just to hold it and just to give it a quick pull, and then it's gone. And there we go. Another pike, a pale pike. And I don't doubt that that's been led up on the bottom for quite a while. Quite lethargic, didn't give a really spirited fight. So, and I'd covered that water quite a few times, to be honest with you. So that pike was definitely led up. But we'll get this one back now, and now hopefully I can start targeting some perch, maybe even catch Julian up.
Ah, lovely. So that's my first pike of the day. It's a nice silvery colour in here. It's quite unusual colour, the water here. I think the colour gets filtered out as it comes through all the fields here and all these little side streams. And you get this lovely sort of milky green coloured water, and the fish are quite silvery like that one. Well, we're having a bit of a fun competition today. We're doing it on numbers of fish. And I've had 3 perch and then this nice pike, so I'm on 4. I think Ben's on 2 as well, so he's having a good day. I've taken an early lead, but still plenty of time, so it's all to play for.
So, as we've said at the beginning when we stood on that bridge a while ago now, it's been a jig day. And credit where credit's due, Julian's done really well, and he's had quite a few perch, and he's also had a pike as well. So I've had a couple of pike which have definitely been led up, and I'd covered the ground quite a lot, so managed to pull them up through. So that was good to get a bend in the rod, but we are really trying to target perch today. I've tried everything in the box. I've gone from spiky shads, I've even trimmed down spiky shads, I've gone for the micro fry, tiddler fast, different colours, and I can't match that jig today, which I think just shows the importance of actually going to a venue and being prepared to either switch from jig to drop shot, rather than having this preconception, I'm going drop shotting today. You know, you really can't tell until you get there what method is actually best to use. So I've actually gone on now to the spiky shad, on a fairly short tail, and I've just been working that back quite fast compared to what I normally would. Normally with a drop shot I'd be looking for any sort of near bank features along the side of the canal boat there maybe, or tight across the far side, and it would nearly be static. And in winter, and once we had a few frosts, I would on the spot with it. You can't go too slow. You're not trying to move that lead, you're just trying to just let that lure flutter and flutter. I think it's quite often I'll actually just tap the rod top like that and then just move it a few inches and work back. So it's really, really hard today. I'm going to soldier on a bit longer, but I'm going to see if maybe there's a chance that I might be able to change to another method and just see if we can maybe do something else to catch a few more fish.
How are you getting on, Mr. Dropshot?
I prefer to be Mr. Jig, if I'm honest.
Okay.
If I'm honest, I've seen you've had a few.
Yeah, I've had half a dozen so far. Happy days. Yourself?
A couple of pike.
Couple of pike, nice.
So I'm winning on weight, technically, I suppose.
I think we agreed it was on numbers, so tough luck. Keep trying to change the rules all day if you want, though.
I missed that bit.
What I would say, though, with it getting a bit lighter now and a bit brighter, I wonder if a more subtle presentation like drop shot might just pay off.
So you think I'm about to come into form and start beating you, so you're making excuses?
No, just trying to keep your confidence up, mate. Don't like it when you get your little head down, you know.
I'll be honest, I need my confidence.
You need your confidence back.
I think, as we said at the start, it is a jig day, and you know as well as I do, if we had a good frost, or just on the day, you don't necessarily need the frost, that this could be a deadly
when the fish are shouldered up tight, drop shot's the way to go, isn't it?
The silvers are all still spread out, and you're covering so much ground.
Indeed I am.
So yeah.
We're going to go and cover some more.
A lucky draw.
I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, take care.
Cheers, Ben. Great camaraderie there. My so-called friend cheers when I lose a fish. What can I say? Well, it's pretty clear that the jig fishing's outfishing the drop shot today, and the reason for that I think is quite simple. We've not really had a cold winter so far, and the fish are still really active, moving about, and there we go, there's another one. Look at that, it's my 10th fish of the day. Happy days. Nice perch, about the average size so far today. And the finesse jig tactics really paying off. What I'm going to do, I'll pop this one back and I'm going to show you the tackle that I've been using to catch these fish. So here's the outfit that I've been using. This is the Ultron 2 ultralight rod. Casts 1 to 8 grams, so it's perfect for this micro jig style of fishing, but it'll also double up if you're doing a bit of drop shotting as well, so pretty versatile. This one's 7'6", and when I'm bank fishing on canals and smaller rivers, the type of venues where I'd use this outfit, I like a slightly longer rod such as this because it gives you that little bit of reach if there's any bankside cover. It twins up perfectly with the Ultron 1500 size reel, and then we've got the Jig Silk mainline. Ben's using something a little bit different. He's using the Warrior drop shot rod, which is a great entry-level rod for those of you trying these methods for the first time. And again, although that's a drop shot rod, you can use it with jig fishing with jigs if you want to. And with that one, he's using the Warrior 1000 reel and the Torque braid, so slightly different outfits. Now, as I've said, it's quite clear that the jig is definitely doing the business today. Now, I'm going to throw him a little bit of a lifeline for the afternoon. I want us to catch as many fish as we can today. So what I'm going to do, we're going to let him use the jigs during the afternoon. However, it's not going to be quite as easy as that. What we're going to say is there's going to be a minimum size of 5 grams and the lure has to be at least 6 centimetres long. So whilst I'm giving him a lifeline, I'm also trying to give us a chance of trying to catch a bigger fish, because with a little 1 gram jig head and tiny lure, I'm certainly picking up the small ones with a chance of a big one, but I think Ben's going to have to go all out for a monster this afternoon. How you feeling then, mate?
Well, you woke me up then.
Like that, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's been tough, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right, well, I'm not a cruel man. I'm going to give you a bit of a lifeline, okay? This afternoon, you're going to be able to use jigs.
but.
But there is a
There we
but,
go,
yeah,
I
you're
knew
right.
you well, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Minimum jig head size, 5 grams.
Yeah, that's doable. Yeah.
Okay, minimum body length for the lure, 6 centimetres. And the reason for that's simple, I really want you to have a go for a bigger fish this afternoon. I'm catching lots of little wasp-sized perch
Yep, that's waspy.
on a 1 gram setup, and I
Yeah.
think if you go for a big fish, I'll carry on what I'm doing, because we all know you can catch a big old perch on that still.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You go with that and we'll see if we can get a big one.
Okay, so we're going hunting this afternoon.
Hunting this afternoon, the weather's good. I mean, it's not been bright all day.
Yeah.
Water clarity's good. It's perfect for a big perch. I think we should give it a go.
I feel like I'm missing a trick here, and it's time to definitely.
Well, just up
so I
that way.
appreciate that.
Just up that way, my friend. I know a swim or two, so should we head off?
Okay, let me get
Let's
this
give
in
it a
and
go.
I'll follow you. Yep, brilliant. So we made our way back up the canal, and we came back to exactly where we started at the start of the day, and I had that awful draw. And I've switched over now, and I've got the bigger lure on in stickleback colours, and with a loaded lure, so it's a 5 gram jig head, so it's so easy to use. Straight out the packet, clip it onto the trace, you cast out and you're away. Maybe a little bit heavy for these conditions, but when Julian said you're going to be on bigger jigs, then that was a blessing in disguise, because on a day like today with the weather the way it is exactly what I would be putting on. Maybe 3.5 gram jig head, something like that, but with a 5 it's totally fine, and especially as they're so active and moving at the moment. And we came back up to where we started, like I said, and this has been covered by both myself and Julian, and just putting a bigger lure through has made all the difference. And in fact, 2 casts I've managed 2 perch. The first one has definitely been eating all the pies, and as you can see, there's a lovely, beautiful little canal perch with a big fat belly. Whoop, with a big fat belly on him, and he's also very lively. So we're going to put this one straight back now. So lovely one, and if you look at the size of the lure, it just goes to show what they will actually eat for their size. And that also beats the size of all of Julian's perch today as well. And then I had another perch. There you go, little fella. And see you again, maybe. And here we go. So we're heading towards proper perch this time. And a lovely Kennet and Avon perch on a winter's day, which is more like autumn, and that's taking that 5 gram loaded jig. And like I say, 2 casts, 2 perch, and what they wanted was that bigger food item, something worth chasing, something worth going after. Quite often when you're using those smaller lures, it's effort for reward, and they see the small food and the little wasps, they go for it because they want to get a lot bigger. Whereas quite often when you're putting a bigger lure past, they know for a bit of effort they're going to get a lot bigger meal. And this one couldn't resist the lure, so hopefully with the light dropping and we're coming towards the last couple of hours, we can pick up a few more fish for the rest of the day. So I'll slip this one back and then go and see if Julian's sulking in the van. Champ?
Yeah.
I like that. How are you getting on?
Not had a bite.
Did you see my perch? I had 1 perch, which cancelled out all 9 or 10 of yours. 1 perch, 13. Unlucky for some, unlucky for you. Because now I've got the big guns out, I'm going all out.
All out.
Good luck. You're going to need it.
had a bit of a move after the lunch break. We've just moved up to this new stretch. Been working our way along, covering plenty of water. Just as we got where a boat went through and put a bit of colour in there, and there was fry topping everywhere, and we thought that that might be a really good sign. However, hasn't proved to be very good so far. I've had one very small perch. To try and combat the additional colour in the water, both Ben and I have switched to lemon tiger lures. I'm still using probably 2/3 of a little tiddler fast on a 1 gram jig head, fishing for the smaller ones with a chance of a big one, while Ben's gone all out for a monster to try and catch up in the competition. It's got that feeling that you sometimes get when a stretch feels a little bit dead, so I think we'll try a couple more swims and then I think we'll probably move again. On these short winter days, you've got to make the most of the time that you've got, so if it's not feeling like it's happening in a particular area, it often pays just to make a move and try somewhere new.
So I think it's fair to say that the last section was tough due to a boat going through.
Yep.
So Julian had a bit of inside knowledge, and we both took a hunch that hopefully much lower down and a little short car journey there wouldn't be any coloured water. So there wasn't, and it paid off. And first cast on the spiky, we've got this lovely perch, which is a real, looks like it's going to grow on to be a really big fish with that big hump there. It's a lovely, lovely perch there. So.
It's a cracker, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lovely one. Lovely Celtic perch there, yeah. Real beauty.
Brilliant,
yeah.
And that was literally first cast after the move. So,
yeah.
As I was saying earlier, short winter days, you've got to make the most of your time. Yeah. And if it's not happening, don't be afraid to try another stretch, or even in some cases to try another venue. I know it's paid off for us before.
Yeah, quite often when you get that hunch to move.
Yep, and on the bigger jig as well.
Yeah, exactly that.
A lot of people think about very small jigs and small drop shot lures when they're fishing for perch, but if Ben just turns that fish to face the camera,
yeah, whoop, huge mouth.
See the mouth on that?
Yeah,
it's got no problem taking big prey items. These fish in here are eating reasonable size roach, perch. There's lots of crayfish in here as well, so don't be afraid to use a good size lure.
Definitely, yeah.
Cracking fish, mate. Better pop that one back.
Yeah.
Good work. I reckon we caught that about right moving down here, mate.
I would have said so, due to the fact that only minutes ago another canal boat came through.
Yeah, and you can see,
you know, the clarity's gone, but you know yourself, sometimes they switch on and everything starts topping and it comes to life, but today when they've gone through, it's actually...
It hasn't helped, has it? It hasn't helped. I mean, you had a couple of lovely fish up there. I had a couple of smaller ones again.
Yeah, they were quite small, yeah.
They were small, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But no, I've been really impressed with the fishing here today. The Froxfield stretch, available for anyone to come and fish on a day ticket, on the Reading ticket. Yeah. What I like about it as well, as someone who doesn't live in the area, you can just book the tickets online as well. Yeah.
On PayPal?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Which is a really good little system, so for people that are travelling, it's ideal. But no, I mean, we've had over 20 fish between us today. I won't embarrass you by telling you what the breakdown of that is and who's caught what, but
yeah.
A busy little stretch with plenty of fish.
Ah. yeah, I've had a good day. I've caught some nice sized perch and some nice sized pike. And of course you caught lots of little perch.
It keeps me happy, mate. Easily pleased. Look at that. What a lovely way to round the day off.
Beautiful.
It's just landing a fish up there. And you got one at the same time, double hook up. Lovely.
Skill.
And surprise, surprise, yours is bigger.
It's not the first time I've heard that in my life.
No. Sure. Oh, there we go. I think that one was mine, wasn't it? Ben, the bigger one.
I think you'll find as it shook this out of its head.
Well, that's different from what you were using before.
Yeah, because where that boat came through in that narrow stretch, it was so coloured, and we've come up here, so I've just put this on now because that's the brightest lure I've got in my box. It's got, what, 200 little nodules on there as well. It's got
loads of vibration.
Yeah, if you're gonna, the light's fading rapidly, that's gonna do the business. And again, first cast, it just shows how territorial they are when you come to a new stretch.
Certainly does. And again, talking about bright lures as the light goes, the old lemon tiger, I've gone up to a 2 gram head for fishing in slightly deeper water that you get below the locks.
Oh,
happy days.
This one's a lively one.
It is. Lovely way to end the day with a double hook up. Want me to start?
You lead the way.
Lead the way, okay. Well, as you can see from the light, we gave it right to the death today. Managed a couple of late fish in the end, didn't we, as well?
We did, yeah, it was good, very good, had good fun.
So let's have a quick look at how it's gone today. Obviously we started off jig, drop shot.
Yep.
Drop shot a bit disappointing today, I was quite surprised.
Yeah, I've got to give drop shot some credit though. It is my bogey.
Right.
It's not my strongest one, it's really not. However, I should have picked up more fish than what it did, and we both know it's just because they were so spread out. The silver fish were spread out everywhere, you could see them topping everywhere. If you had a perch, it was a singular, you know, there was just nothing grouped up. So to give drop shot its due, it will come into its own in the next couple of months, hopefully, when we get some cold weather.
Valuable lesson learned there for people who may be trying that method for the first time. You see a lot out there, a lot of information out there at the moment about drop shot, but obviously don't overlook the jigs as well. You know, one works really well. Obviously the jigs work really well when the fish are spread out, mild conditions. On those cold days though, you can't beat drop shot, as we've proved ourselves before.
Indeed, and I think a lot of people, as you know, will use the jigs to actually locate the fish and have a second rod ready with a drop shot, and then they can just very delicately go in there and just pick out the fish from the shoal. So yeah, it's a very good method for that as well.
I think the other thing that's made a big difference today has been lure colour as well.
Massively, yeah.
I mean, we've started off fishing relatively clear water with more natural patterns. As the boats have come through today, they've caused us a few problems, and we've gone from really good water clarity right the way through to almost nothing. And in those circumstances, we've obviously changed from the more natural patterns like hot olive through to the lemon tiger. And then right at the death, when I was failing to catch on the lemon tiger, you switched to good old redhead, which is an old favourite of mine.
Oh yeah, classic lure, been about for years, but you know, modern version there with all the spikies on it.
And that really did the business, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Had some good fish, and I mean, you can just put it in the water and just see the difference it makes from even a lemon tiger. It literally just
a solid colour is always a good bet.
Pure solid colour, and you've got that red as well, which is obviously a trigger colour as well.
Definitely,
so,
definitely. Okay. Well, we started the day with it being a bit of a challenge, a competition, I believe.
Yeah, it's a long
and
time
according
ago.
to my most basic of GCSE mathematics.
Very basic, yeah.
Very basic indeed. Yeah, that usually do favour me when I work things out.
Yeah, I bet they do.
But I make it 16.9. I don't know what you made it at the end.
About 38.
Well, yeah, even more basic mathematics. But either way, I think I just pipped you on the day. You had some bigger fish though, so I believe, my friend. It's your turn to get the pints in.
I'm going to say we call it a draw.
No, I'll just take
Quantity
those pints.
and quality.
No, we'll take those pints. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. There's always next time.